Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Juliet Neilcraft. So today we are going to be doing a bit of a scrap attack. Going to be attacking this bit box because it's just getting a little bit too full, quite frankly. I've got a couple of paper pads. I mean, I don't think I'm going to smash all of this. If you want to see how to completely smash these things, check Dawn out. She does loads, but I get bored after a while. I would like to at least empty this paper pad. I think we've got like 5 sheets of paper in this one, and we've got this one. So I've got a few paper pads like this that literally just have a few things left in them, and my bit box is getting quite full. I know some people say to me you should really get yourself a new bit box, but to be honest I really don't want to. Partly because I find personally that it only just, what happens is it gets too full, and if we have the stuff there to fill, we fill it. I quite like that yellow actually. I'm not sure it'll work with that girl, but we can see. Yeah, so I find, because I know, you know, at one point I had boxes and bags and all sorts full of scraps, and then it just feels like all you've got in your craft room is scraps, and I don't like that feeling either. And then I start feeling guilty because it's like, oh, I can't get anything new because I've got to like use up the scraps first and all of that malarkey. So I actually quite like to just have a small bit box, and I will get to the stage where I'm like, right, okay, that box is getting really full now, I cannot fit any more in it. And when it gets to that stage, I mean, I try and sort of, I quite often, I'm going to have to thingy my glue as always. Oh my goodness, that was painful unclogging that. Just realised I'm going to have to look through my videos as well. I was accidentally recording me unclogging the glue, whereas I thought I'd stop the recording. Anywho, I can't even remember what I was saying. Yeah, I tend to find that I always have my bit box right next to my desk. So quite often if I feel like a project's just needing a little something, I will quite often have a rummage in my bit box and see what's there. I'm sure a lot of you will have heard me saying that. I like it. I find it's a bit like leftover crafting. It's like leftover night. You suddenly find all these things that you didn't have a clue could possibly go together and do. So it is something that I craft with a lot. It's just sort of there for me to put in and see what occurs. But also it does sort of get to the stage every so often that you're kind of like, that is so full, I am not going to be able to get anything else in it. In which case it's like, right, let's pull out the bit box, let's just craft entirely from the bit box and see what happens. And so that is genuinely all my little bits and scraps are in that tiny little box. Yeah, and I find that quite good. The other thing I like to do, I did sort of start it as a series, and I will maybe try and take it up this year, is that I do what I called, now this was obviously, look at that, how badly that's like a pre-bought card, and it's like clearly not square. That white bit is really going to bother me. So I'm just going to take that back so it matches the front, because yeah, that would bother me, it really would. I actually think the yellow fits her quite nicely. I quite like, I think we might get a bit of distress ink going on as well. I can't even remember what I was saying about my bit box now. Yeah, so once it starts looking too full, it's like, right, let's do something about it, and we just get on with it. So I think we could have something. Or do I want it? Oh, decisions. Well, maybe we could have it like that, so that she's sort of, so that it's kind of like the edge of the card, and then she's on half and half. I like that. I am going to soften it down with some distress inks though, and I think I might get some stamps out as well, just to soften the look of that. I don't know, let's see, that one's maybe softer. I quite like that. I quite like that. So yeah, this is a case of just sifting through and see what occurs. A bit of lace there. It could be quite nice. Could possibly put that down there. We will see what's in this bag. Intriguing. Oh, it's lots of birdhouses and things. Okay, for some reason I've got loads of acetate. I think this came from this stash of this lady that I've been sort of helping with. That might all just be enough there. I think it's in danger of becoming too busy. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think with a bit of distress ink and a bit of stamping, I think we'll probably, and a bit of gesso maybe, we will be good to go. So I don't know how many cards we'll make today. We will just see what occurs. I'm not putting myself under any sort of pressure. Right, I've got Tattered Rose because I want to sort of make it look a tad more vintagey than it currently looks. So I'm just going to bring that around. I think there must have been a bit of yellow on there already, but to be honest, we've got yellows coming in to the project anyway, so it's really not a problem. So let's get this on. I think some of like my more vintagey coloured ink pads are older and they're getting a bit drier, so I either need to replace or get re-inkers or something. Right, so we've got that, and then I'm going to do the same with the torn paper. Definitely got some green on this brush, I think. Yeah, it was alright on the blue, but I don't know that I like it on the yellow. I might actually just tear that again. Although it's going on to blue paper, so it shouldn't bother me too much. We'll just have it on that side. And then I can see what looks better. Right. And a little bit down here. So let's get that onto here. I'm just going to grab one of my Stamplamentals. This is Stamplamentals 2. Oh, sorry, that was the noise of my chair. It's the one with my granny's handwriting on it. And I'm just going to grab a sand coloured memento ink. And I'm just going to take the plainness away from this paper, just by adding a little bit of stamping into that. I don't know why I keep saying that down there so it sticks. So just popping all of this all over, and let's actually put a bit on the yellow as well. Got the wrong ink. Now I'm not even bothering, I'm just sticking it on. There we go. See what occurs. Overly fast, it's just, yeah, just to take that cleanness away. I think because the little fairy girl, she's very, very vintage. So it's just trying to make, and obviously we've taken the papers here from quite a bright paper pack, so it's just trying to make sure that they look right with the girl. So we've got that there, like so. And I'll stick a bit of lace. I might actually just sort of fray this a little so it looks a bit more distressy. Down. It's funny, I don't often have lace and stuff on my work. It's I normally end up, I always like the idea of it and then never quite look how it's going. Okay, and then we've got her there. Let's just around her a little bit, and then I'm going to grab some cardboard. Oops. A pile of stuff. I'm currently filming. I have 3 projects currently drying, so I'm this is like the fourth. I'm currently filming 4 videos simultaneously. I'm hoping this one's not going to have a drying time or anything, so that I can just actually have something done start to finish. Because all the other ones, one of them I hoped I was going to be able to do tonight. I still might, but there's been more sort of layers of drying time than I expected on it, so let's just have that there, like so. And then I've got my girl. It's come together fairly quickly. I like the look of it. It feels like it needs, I might bring this over a bit so the girl comes a bit more into the card. It's okay because I'm going to do splatters, so any sort of residue of glue, that'll be disguised. But there we go, that's a bit better. It does also look a bit messy at the minute because we've not neatened up the edges of that yellow paper. Right. So, got that. Like so, I like that. I do feel that we maybe need something else. So what do we have in here? I could do with, what have we got with regards to small, I don't know if I want to bring in gold. This is a strange bit box for me actually. There's a lot of stuff in it that I'm really just not feeling at all. It's very shiny. As I said, I think it's partly because it's a lot of the stuff in here is stuff from that lady's stash that I was sorting, and some of it she just didn't quite have. Yeah, this is definitely a strange mix of stuff. Oh, I like that. That could be quite nice. But I'm going to do that. Let's just cut that a bit neater around here. And what I'm going to do is, because obviously that's a very stark white that I'm not overly keen on. Yes, I don't quite know how we're going to get through all this stuff because I'm not really overly sure on whether I like the stuff that's actually in the box. So this is definitely going to take some creativity to get to the stage where we do like what's in the box. Right, I'm going to pop a little bit of yellow. So this is the mustard seed. This is going to be way too bright, but I'm going to put that on first, and then I'm going to get the tattered rose that we had earlier and put those two colours on, and then hopefully that will just sort of blend into the project and look more part of it than it looked before, because obviously that white was really stark, especially on a vintage looking things. And while I'm at this stage as well, let's just neaten up the edge here, because that'll help to make sense of the project in our head. Okay. Okay. Right. Cool. So we've got a make it happen. I like that. That's cool. It's amazing what you can put together from your bit box and actually be really chuffed with it. I'm actually going to put this flat, but this sentiment slightly raised because she's raised, so I think that would work. So again, I'm just going to grab some of the packaging that I'm currently using. Let's get that raised up, and then I think let's get a actually I don't want a black pen, I think I want a brown pen, so I'm going to have to stretch over and grab a brown pen just to do a bit of doodling, and then let's have a few white splashes. And I'm also, just while I'm at it, going to just ink the edges of these yellow bits, because obviously we've just cut that down and I can kind of tell that those bits haven't been inked and it would bother me. There we go, that's so pretty! Right, yeah, pen. Okay, so I've got a brown Arteza pen. This is one of their gel pens. I do love these pens and I haven't used them in a while, so that's good. I like the fact that you've got the different colours as well. So I'm just putting a very loose doodly border. What I might do as well is I like to sort of sometimes make these things part of the page a little bit, so I'll do a bit of faux stitching and I'll just put one there as well. So we've got that going on. Right. Okay. Oh, very good. That's good. I just thought the brown would actually be quite stark for that. So I've got a little bit of paper there. Just pop that over her face because obviously we don't want her pretty little face to end up with a big white splatter on it. Can I open this now? What's happening? Maybe I've just been filming too long. Right, let's get some splatters onto there, and then I think we will call this one done. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit so that I can see my space again, and we'll see what else we can do. Right, colour wise, what I have in my stash seems to be coordinating with this pad better than this one, the one I was wanting to use up, so I'll maybe do something with that in another video. So I've just gone through my stash and found elements that are sort of same but different, and thought, let's see if we can, I'm just going to take the pips off of these because they will bother me. Let's see if we can sort of make 2 cards simultaneously out of this stuff, and then we will see if we should do more from there or not. Actually, that's kind of blue, and I'm thinking I might keep that separate because that could go quite nicely with some of these bird cages, and it's a different colour tone. So what have we got? We've got 3 of these. I don't know if you can hear all the noise in the background. My daughter's playing on phone with her friend. Right, so taking these pips off, probably could have done that off camera, right? Right, so we've got a few little bits and pieces. I've got these as well, which can be coloured. So let's see what we've got in here. That could kind of go. So we've got that pink to start off with. That works. We're on a slightly bigger card as well here, so we're going to have to be a bit creative with the paper to make it stretch that far. So we've got that blue. It's not really a lilac, but we can possibly get that. It's black there, which we've got in the toppers. We could probably get the lilac just from a little bit of distress ink. So let's see. Let's see what we've got with this. Oops. So we could have, as I said, we're going to have papers that are not going all the way to the edge, so I think we're just going to have to embrace that and be okay with it. So I think I'll probably go maybe collage style. Collage style. I think we need a bit of the black. Like so. Or maybe actually we could have predominantly black. I think that might suit it better. So we'll pop it that way. It's okay, as I said, what I'm going to do is I will do a doodly border around the edge of that, and I think we'll negate the need for the paper to finish. Right, we've got this band that could go across like so. Something like that, and then we have these flowers which are black and white, so could really work actually. I might even just get some water. Oh, I can hear. It's funny, my husband is obviously taking advantage of the fact that my daughter's on the phone with a friend and he's in our bedroom watching something on his iPad, and I can actually hear him crying laughing. It's probably not even something that's overly that funny. Ooh, actually I might just keep them black and white because I think that works. Yeah, I think that works okay. So I wouldn't say it's my normal style, but I think that could work. Right, so I'm going to pull it together a little bit, again with a bit of stamp. I'm going to take the pips off, I'll do that off camera. I'm going to pull my stamp out again, and I do find, especially when I'm sort of dealing with bits and things like this and stuff that's not really my style, being able to get my inks out, my stamps out, just being able to add a few little extra pieces for me just helps it sort of work. I'm going to do that, and I'll probably do some stamping over at the papers as well. So let's get those glued down, she says. And the thing about doing a little crafting session, using up like your bit box, or now I need to be a bit more careful, I've just slapped that down and actually I need my border to be fairly even so that it works. Right, here we go. Yeah, you just get such a sense of satisfaction knowing that you've done it entirely from your bit box, and knowing that you've used up your scraps, and yeah, it just feels good. It feels good to do some some stash busting. Right, let me just nick the... I'm just going to nick all the pips off my Pro Marker and run that down each side, like so. Just help to frame it. I think especially when you're putting lots of layers on, framing what you do, it makes such a difference. It allows you to see all the individual patterns, whereas sometimes when you're putting pattern upon pattern it can get lost a little bit. Okay, so we'll put that along there like so. I didn't let my VersaFine Clear dry first before fiddling, so we do have a few sort of smudges here, so we have to rectify them, but something as simple as some black splashes can sort things like that. So that stamping, it looked all rather messy, but now I've put it there, I can actually see that, you know, we're barely seeing the stamping now. So this time I will remember. So I want a little bit sort of coming along here because I want it to come below the feature item as well. And I'm going to go over the papers. So I just feel that helps. I might even just bring it over a bit more like that. And I want some just at the top up here as well. I'm not bothering to re-ink. It's really not a problem. But sometimes you can kind of think, oh my goodness, that looks so cluttered, and then by the time you start layering everything on it, you don't see it anymore. And as I said, I feel like I need a bit more. Right, so I've just done that so I don't have the same smudging problem. I want to raise this topper up a little bit though. So I'm just going to grab a piece of cardboard and we'll pop that behind. So I'll get that down. I'm not putting cardboard all the way to the edge because I know I want to be tucking those flowers in, so I kind of want a little bit of wiggle room to sort of tuck things under. So I'm going to pop that one there. And get up a little, just, yeah, kind of, yeah, we'll tuck it under there, like that. I think these things here were from a card making magazine that I had forever ago. And I used sort of one on a project, and now the rest have sort of ended up in my... So we'll have that there. Do I have another set of the white flowers? Because I kind of feel like I need... something else. Decisions. If there is a strange edit there, I do apologise. My SD card ran out of room, but I have been filming pretty much most of today, so it's done well. And in that time I've managed to clog my glue yet again. Alright, so we're just putting the sentiment on here. So we'll get that down. Field of Roses and a Wildflower. So I believe these flowers came from that same set. It was the journal paper pad that both Dawn and I have, and we actually did a Dawn and Julia Create using it. So the bits that I'd sort of popped out and not used got popped in my bit box. My bit box is just purely because I'm too lazy to be bothered finding the right places for things. So it's like, I'll stick it in my bit box. Saves me having to go round finding out where everything should go. So sometimes if I've just got little bits, it just kind of goes in there. So that's fine. So I'm just going to doodle a little border around the edge of this. I always love a doodle border. It helps to frame and draw the eye in, but also because this paper hasn't quite reached the edge, it looks much more part of the design as opposed to that we didn't have enough paper. So that's the thing, we can make it work. So we've done that, so that's that one. Right, so then we sort of have similar elements. We don't have the same flower, but we've got some similar elements here. So I think I'm going to use the black again because that worked quite nice. I might just actually stick the whole strip down because then it gets the paper used up, doesn't it? So we'll tear this because I like the torn edges. Okay. And then we have this one and this one, which we could maybe use. I'm quite liking that. Right, let's see, what else do we have? Beautiful thing is never perfect. I'm quite liking these big sentiments on these cards. It's kind of working. And we've also got this flower, which we could give a little bit of shape to. I probably should have put distress ink around the edges first, but that'll help me see whether... Yeah, that could be quite nice. It's funny when you start playing with your bit box, you kind of sort of end up out with your... Oh, I quite like... Ooh, right, hang on. I quite like... this with the sentiment in the centre of it. I think that's quite cute. That's quite nice, and that's a bit different. That was unexpected, but I like. I've got these little, seeing if there's any more of these black and white things. I do have these Actually, I've got some of these acetate butterflies and they might go on here. Yeah. I like that, and it's really simple, and I'm going to stick with it, so let's just go with that. And yeah, then we can call another one done. Right. So I think this is where this is all really fun and good, and this is genuinely what I love. I love having elements in my bit box, and I've mentioned it before, like I've not sort of done a let's empty my bit box in a while. I'm just looking, I've got that, I think I've got a black and white strip in here somewhere, so I might see if I can dig that out. But it's quite often you end up putting things together that you really wouldn't have seen if you hadn't seen them sort of lying next to each other, as it were. I'm finding all these extra bits that I'm thinking could possibly work. I'm pretty sure I've got a black and white chevron thing somewhere in here as well. Yeah, that could work. So let's just take these little nicks off them again. Sorry if there's sighs and things in the background. It's bedtime. It's actually past bedtime, but she kind of got engrossed into a film, and because it's weekend tomorrow, it's like, oh, well, that's fine. But it's amazing how okay, you're up later than you're normally up, but yet we're still not happy about going to bed. Oh, the joys. Right, just gonna, I keep saying I'll do those bits off camera, but it's just because they sort of catch me unawares. Right, so I'm gonna edge this because I do think it makes a difference. Right. Seem to have a little, there we go. So I'll put that over there like that. And then this one, I'm kind of actually not, I've edged it there, but it's sort of bled into it in a way that I don't like it, so we'll deal with that in a moment. That's the thing I always find, if it's not right, then it's not the end. So, right, let's get this going. Okay. I'm just going to actually cut into the chevron of that because I think it's quite nice. So let's glue this down here. We'll end up with more little bits, but we'll see how we go. I might actually have to pull some more blank cards out. Well, that's even better because it means we'll get them done. Right, oops, put that there. Okay, I'll stick this down, and then I'm going to put the sentiment on a 3D foam. There we go, oh, not 3D foam, cardboard. Because why waste your money? I mean, I know 3D foam is fairly cheap. You can go to the pound shop and get a fair few squares of it and a little roll of it for like £1, which doesn't, I appreciate, doesn't break the bank, but every little helps, you know. And if we're not having to spend money on 3D foam, it means that we can save it for the pretty things that we enjoy buying. So why not? Right, we'll pop that there. I like that. I do like black and pink together. It is a combination I do really like. And then we're going to pop a little, because we've got the gold in the sentiment, then it's an excuse for me to use some of these acetate butterflies. I'm just folding it to sort of give it a bit of shape. And I'm going to glue one, and then I'm going to glue a smaller one into it. Oops, if I can actually get it to sit. The glue will dry clear, and hopefully with the detail that we've got on the butterfly it will carry it okay. You are going to see it unfortunately, but I can't really see a way around it right now, so we'll just go with it, it's not a problem. Right, pop those together. Right, and then let's do an edge on this one too. Oops. And then that's that one done. And we'll see how the bit box is going. Unfortunately, I think some of the papers that I've pulled out and the elements that are in the bit box don't necessarily coordinate. So I'm just going to kind of maybe see if we can do something else with the papers that we've pulled out and just go with that and just be happy that we've put a little dent in it, even if it's not a massive dent. That's okay. Right. Just means I'll have to pull out a different paper pad next time. Right, let's put that aside. I'm going to grab some more blank in a box that's got odds and ends in it. So I've got two little A6 cards there and I've got a tall card. So let's attempt to do something with the tall card. We've got these bird houses. So I'm just maybe going to do something like that for the moment, just to get something on the page. There is a join, but we'll just have to live with that, or put something over it. We've got these chevrons left over, so we can see what occurs with that. Although I think that what I might do and get my nails under it, so I'll put this one on top, because then I think the chevrons will work better at the sort of 3/4 down the bottom as opposed to 3/4 at the top, just in my head anyway. So pop that there. Oops. Making that pixie to this. Right, let's get it even. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to pop that across, or a border. Yeah, so we've got that bit. See, now I've got using up the torn bits of paper here as well now. So yeah, what other bits have we got? We've got another bit there as well. Let's get that on, and yeah, then we'll see what we've got that might go with it a little bit. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Okay, and I'll even that up. I think this must have been a card that I've made myself. Yeah, the box that I'm pulling from is literally just where all the older sort of odds and sods have gone. That doesn't work. Okay, so we've got these, which might work actually. We've got a few of those. Like I could have something like that maybe. We'll go with that. The other thing is this, is it's really forcing me outside my normal style and comfort zone as well. Which is fine. I'm going to tuck that slightly under that torn paper. There we go. And then we'll there we go. Right. So we've got that. Where did my little chevrons go? Could have some chevrons down there. These scissors seem to have got very clumped up. So I think what I'll do is I'll just finish those other 2 cards that I've pulled out, because I have no idea how long this video is, but I know I have made a fair few cards on it. Well, for me, 3 for me is a lot. I can imagine that's probably taking quite a bit of time. So obviously I'm aware that I don't want to take forever. But hopefully we'll have made a hole in the bit box as well. Now I'm not overly feeling this card just yet, so I'm going to put my black marker on it and do my doodly border now. I sometimes find that helps me. I know I've talked before about the principle of framing your work. It helps to draw the eye in, it gives focus to the piece, and sometimes if I'm not sure where to go next, I find that obviously whoever gets the card, it's good for them to be able to see it, but sometimes in the process, if you're not sure where you're going, having your eye drawn in to see what it looks like can just help you to kind of get to the place where you're like, yep, that's it, that's what it needed. So I'm just going to add my little doodly border around the edge. There we go. See, already that looks 100 times better. And I'm not aiming for it to be straight, I'm just creating a bit of a frame. So don't stress about doodling too much. Don't be nervous about it. I know I used to be nervous about putting pen to something, and it's like, oh, I was like, oh no, what if I ruin it? But you're really not going to ruin it, so really don't worry about it. Right, we've got some bits, and I've actually got some more bits and pieces in here. Look at all this. Loads of fussy cut elements. Right, so we could maybe make this a bit more interesting by adding some of these birds on it, like so. I think let's get those, and then maybe some of the butterflies, and that might be enough. I don't know if it needs a sentiment. This isn't my most favourite card in the world, but you know, it's a card, it's okay. Same on this side here. Oops. Woo. I think I had all of those cut and put aside because it was when I was doing the Smash the Small Paper Pad, but I'm not part of the collab this year because time frame, I was just sort of struggling to fit it in, but it'll still be good to sort of use up this paper pad that I started using up. Let's put a load of butterflies on it too, because we've got them, so we may as well. And so let's get another 2 down here so that we've still got an odd number. Birds and butterflies. Things of flight. I don't want another yellow one. Let's get another one like that. There we go. Yeah, I'm not overly keen. I'm going to see if I'm going to stick some white splashes on this one. Sometimes I find just doing something like that just helps to make me prefer it a bit more. But yeah, I think it's alright. It'll do. And as I said, I think I will get some white splatters on this one. And just to see how we go. Oops. I don't know why white splatters make a difference. I think it just all of a sudden looks more arty, and it maybe coordinates all the elements together a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to turn my work a little bit so it doesn't look quite so directional. Right, okay, so that's that one, and then we've just got a couple more that we can together. As I say, just because I don't want this video to be horrendously busy. I might come on another day and we'll just end up completely finishing off the paper pack, because it would be good to kind of get it done. But we've got through a fair few of the sheets. How many is left? We've got the stickers, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I might come back on another one and we just finish off that paper pad. But at least we've got a couple of the sheets used. So yeah, and I do find it difficult to get through an entire paper pad. I just find that I do get quite bored quite easily when I'm making cards and things. So I find sort of like working through a full kit till I'm done, it's just really not my style. That's quite nice. I'm just literally sticking loads of random bits here now. A collage style, seeing what can occur. Yeah, but actually maybe getting 2 or 3 sheets that are left of a paper pad and working through that, I think I would find that easier than sort of going through an entire paper pack as it is. Oh, actually I quite like that. Smile. I like that. And what I might do is just cut this so that it's not as big. And then we've got the feature of the smile part. I've done really rubbish fussy cutting there. It's well dodgy. So cover that up with something. There we go. See, sometimes that's the answer. Sometimes you kind of think, oh, that looks nice together, but it's not working. And something as simple as changing the orientation of the card can make all the difference. So again, I'm just going to edge that in black. I like this sort of geographic shape, it's like very, geographic, not geographics, that's not the right word. They're like very angular shapes. Geographic, what am I like? With the flowers, it's quite an interesting take on the matter. Right, I'm actually going to have that down. It will mean I have to snip the bottom off, but I like it like that. Okay, so I like that. It's not right yet, but I'm liking where we're headed. Okay, so that's good. What other little bits have we got? See, this is where I've got tiny little scrappy bits left now on my desk. Obviously we've got a lot more in the bit box, but that's like, oh, let's just randomly use up all these little scrappy bits that are just there. If I can actually get my scissors to work. There we go. I do like collaging things up. I think it's fun. Right, so we've got that, and then I think I'm going to look for a little blue butterfly. There. Okay, and then let's have a little hummingbird there. That's quite nice. Yeah, I think that works. And then just a bit of again, doodly border. Yeah, a bit random. Dress forms. Right, so I am actually going to put some stitching detail on the blue part, just to help to frame that. And then I'm going to do all round stitching detail on the white as well. It just helps that blue look a bit more part of it. I actually think some gold splatters on that could be quite nice as well. So I might just grab, what have I got to hand? Yep. Okay, so I've just grabbed my Kiritaki Gansi Tambi. Absolutely love these paints so much. They are awesome. They're a watercolour paint. Yeah, the pans are massive, so they last for ages. I've had mine for years now. And they're also really quite opaque. They're almost gouache-like. I do love them. But I'm just thinking, because we've got those touches of gold, that actually a bit of gold splatter just might not go amiss. So I'm going to pop that down. I'll pop that to the side and let that dry. And then let's just do one more with this, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, let's see how we get on with this one. Okay, so I'm just going to, there's a little perforated edge there. I've actually put up with the perforated edge on all the other cards for some reason. But yeah, I think because we've got them for torn looks and things, I've kind of been okay. But this time I fancy chopping it off. Right, so I'm going to stick that down there to start off with. That gets that piece of paper used up. So I think the papers that we've torn out of the pad to get used, we've actually used all of the ones that we've torn. I found this in my bit box. Let's get that on there as well. Why not? Why not, indeedly doodly. Okay. Put that there. Right, let's get these toppers used up. I'm not one for toppers, do you know, I really am not, so yeah. Right, I'm going to put one there, and we've got, actually I'm going to move it over so it overlaps the card slightly. Okay, that it protrudes out the side of the card. I can live with that. Just makes it a bit more interesting. Right, so we'll pop that there. Okay, I've got this big flower that we've not used yet. So I also had a little rummage through my bit box and we had gems at the bottom of it as well, so I could use those. Oh look, there's a little flower chipboard, because I like this flower but it's a bit big and a bit boring, so let's pile up a load of stuff on it and see how it looks then. Let's get some glue onto this. So it doesn't matter that I can't fully see all the bits that are there. I think that's the thing with collage, it's well like that, relax and have fun. Get that on there. Again, just taking off the tips. There. And let's see if we've got, because again we've got that gold in there now with that writing, let's see if we can use some of these, because I seem to have gazillions of these acetate butterfly things. Maybe just a little one. A little one there. Yeah. Cool. I might just stop filming here, like obviously once I finish the card I'll tidy up a little bit and show you what I've made, and then I might sort of film a part 2 just so that we don't have one horrendously long video, because what are we up to? I've done 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, but that is quite a lot for me. Probably like an hour-long video or something, who knows. Especially when we're cutting off pips on camera as well. That'll probably not help the situation any. Okay. Oops, I'm just neating that up. And I can have a look through my papers as well. Well, I'm still quite keen to sort of maybe finish off that paper pad that we were using, and actually seeing some of those butterflies, they kind of go, so as I said, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just tidy up slightly, finish this video off, and then proceed with another one. So it'll be the same evening for me most likely, but at least for you guys it'll be split up so that it's not quite as painful. Okay. I've managed to put, oh no, it's just part of text, it's meant to be there. I thought I'd put a big thumbprint there. But I hadn't, so it's all good. Right. So I will clear up my desk right now. So, and then show you everything. So that is our cards that we've made. So we've got a few here. I quite like this one and this one. So yeah, very different to my normal style of card, but I think that's kind of what happens when you're restricted. And obviously I restricted myself by sort of just using my bit box. But those are the cards all complete. I hope you have enjoyed crafting with me. I hope you'll feel free to get your bit box out in your scrap bag or however it is you store all your little bits and pieces that you can't quite throw away. Let's get them out, let's use them. Let's make this a year of using up our stash, using what we have. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and look out for part 2 of this video. I'm sure it'll be coming very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.